We are live. Hello, hello, hello. We have got the lovely Bev, and Bev has asked for this song. So here we go. I saw the light of the night pass by her window. I saw the flickering shadows of love on her mind. She was my woman. As she deceived me, I watched and I went out of my I could see that girl was no good for me, but I was lost like a slave. We're gonna stop there.
Well, I've never been serenaded quite like that before.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And it's a dance like better than the first choice song that you gave me.
What's wrong with a Christmas song nearing spring?
Nothing wrong with a Christmas song in spring. So, Bev, first question. Why did you choose that song?
I'm not a great music person, so I love songs I can sing at the top of my voice off key in the car. And that's one of those, you know the word. Sing at the top of your voice.
It certainly is, isn't it? Absolutely. We've already got people coming in and saying hello. Hi, Annette. How are you? And we got Fedosi as well. So hi. Yeah, a little bit of Tom Jones. Can't go far wrong with a bit of Tom Jones. Anyway, so Bev Hepting, you're my lovely guest today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit. How long have we got? Okay, so I'm Bev Hepting, as he's told you. I am a public speaking coach. I am a speaker. I'm a TEDx speaker, an international speaker. However, my greatest passion is making sure that women are able to stand up and tell everybody how awesome they are and what they do with confidence and clarity. So that's what I do. I'm also a grandmother. I've been married 3 times. I look after my mum. And most of the time I'm completely stressed out and get a bit manic.
Right. Okay. Apart from that, everything's fine.
Oh, life is good. Absolutely. You know, you think about the world today, life's okay.
Yeah. Whenever we catch up, you're always smiling. So Annette's saying it's frozen. So I do hope it's not frozen. It is frozen, but you can hear them. Oh, that's right. So at least you can hear us.
Yes.
Who wants moving anyway? let us know when we've unfrozen, but I'm looking good on the Wi-Fi here, so I don't know why.
I'm looking all right. Yeah,
I've got a load of questions for you here.
Okay.
There we are. So you use LinkedIn, don't you?
I do.
So why do you like LinkedIn?
It's funny actually, because about 5 years ago, when we all sort of just started, Facebook was the thing. We all went to Facebook. And I got really, really disinterested. And I just sort of used LinkedIn. I'd post and stuff. But then, funnily enough, I don't use Facebook anymore. And I decided I would concentrate on LinkedIn. After listening to you, Ashley, this is all your fault. After listening to you. Sorry. And a couple of other people around lead generation on LinkedIn. And now I find that I enjoy LinkedIn a lot more for creating and building those relationships and talking to people. My only wish is they wouldn't do so many polls on LinkedIn now.
It does. Well, actually, having said that, I haven't seen so many. Although I did see a couple yesterday with Will Smith in them.
Oh, well, yeah. They must be my feed then, because that's all I get most of the time. So, but then again, I don't think business is done on the feed so much as it's done in sort of chatting to people you're connected with and that side of it. And that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. And it's all about people start knowing who you are and what you do. So how long have you actually been on LinkedIn, Bev?
Oh, God. Probably since the beginning. I'm a shiny object syndrome thing, and I jump on these, and it's only in the last 2 years I've actually sat down and audited the sort of social media I use, and why I'm using it, because I think that's the other thing. My clients are on LinkedIn, they're not necessarily, well, they are on Facebook, but I just hate Facebook now. So I've been on it a long time, but not using it to its best. It's like that coat you buy, brand new, beautiful, you put it in the cupboard, and then a few years later you get it out and you go, why haven't I been wearing this amazing coat?
Because it's always sunshine in the UK. That's why I haven't worn the coat. So how often do you write your own content then, Bev?
Now, this is an interesting one, because I don't write content per se. What I tend to do is I video. I'm trying to do that every day now. Then I transcribe the video and I use that as a blog. And then I take parts of the blog and I use that as social media content. So I just reuse anything from a video.
Well, so yeah, you are creating content then.
Oh, yeah, I create content. I just don't like writing content. No. But I create content daily.
And I love this because you're a speaker.
Yes.
You're a speaking coach. And so your greatest strength is stood up there speaking.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
why not turn that into your superpower? And so what do you use then to transcribe?
There's a couple of pretty good. Otter.ai is a really nice one, and there's a free version of that. And it's one of the few that you don't have to edit to death. Essentially, should have, So that's a really good one, and you can upload videos to it to transcribe. So I use that, and then once I've got that transcription, I tend to run it through on my Word on like a Microsoft Word document or something, because that'll actually look at all the grammar and stuff. So I've got it looking nice, and it doesn't take very long. Then that's there in its perpetual content. So then I keep a spreadsheet of all these different bits of content and reuse when the brain's gone, I don't know what I'm going to write about today.
Brilliant. And that's the thing, isn't it? So, and I guess you're the opposite to a lot of people. You'll go video first.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Always. Much easier.
But why is that then? Because a lot of people go, oh, I can't do video. I don't want to be seen.
I think because often when we think about content, we get ourselves sat there, and I used to get quite stressed about it, thinking, what shall I write about? But I find for me, if I just click, and I use Loom at the moment because it's free, and I just sort of click on, and I'll talk about things around visibility or speaking. I'll find one particular thing, and I can do a 10-minute video on that quite easily, chatting, or I relate it, like, I won't even tell you the story about the pheasant that got caught in my car and everything else, but I can use those stories and relate them to what we can and can't do. I'm really looking forward to being able to relate the whole smacking someone around the face because they said the wrong thing into an amazing video on what not to do when accepting awards. So I just find it easier to let it flow that way than try and sit and write and go, oh, what am I going to write about? Don't know.
Brilliant. I love that idea. It's a really great way to create content and keep it within what you're brilliant at. So that is a great top tip. I really do like that. So how much time do you spend daily actually on LinkedIn?
Probably 20 minutes.
Right.
Unless I'm doing a lead generation. So every now and again, about once a month, maybe 2 months, I'll go through and do a lead generation campaign, and I'll send messages out. I'll do a search for specific people, and I will send a direct message. And I know people say you shouldn't do that, but actually I think a lot of people on LinkedIn don't want their time wasted. So I actually go in and do I come up with this new program, blah, 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 blah. Love you. I know you're busy, but if you can take a quick look. And I'll send that out to as many people on that sort of hit list, as I call it, and try to get them on a call. And then I spend, once a month or so, I'll probably spend a couple of hours doing that. But 9 times out of 10, 20 minutes on LinkedIn, getting the video up there, and then just checking through. I do a quick through the feed to see if I can answer anybody's queries or someone's mentioning something. So, yeah, not too long.
Sounds like you've got a good little habit there, Bev. I love it.
It took
Absolutely
me a
love it.
while to get into the habit. I think that was the problem, and it's all that because I'm consistently inconsistent in everything I do. So I literally had to make myself do that until it became second nature.
Yeah.
Cup of tea, sit at the computer, check my emails, right, do the video, get on with it. So yeah, it had to become a habit.
Yeah, no, and that is absolutely perfect. So do you have a specific time that you find is best for posting on LinkedIn?
I haven't worked that one out yet. On one of my platforms, I use Zoho One to connect everything and automate anything. And so I keep an eye on the messages. And as I'm earmarking sort of decision makers in business, if you like, or entrepreneurs, various times of the day work for different people. So, you know, mums, it's like middle of the day, kids are at school. If it's, you know, high business people, they're not going to do it at work. So no point in the evening. So I try to catch that early morning. But equally, I use, I schedule a lot of my posts to go out, and that sort of tries to figure out the right time to send things. So it's a hard one. It's a really, if you're working with one particular industry, like women or whatever, and their families, don't do it the morning or the evening, middle of the day. So yeah, I haven't quite got the perfect time. I just send them all out at different times and repeat them at different times and shove them in the scheduler and hope for the best.
Okay, I like that because, and again, it's whenever you do it, it's going to be wrong for somebody. So
absolutely, it's one of those things, you can't please people all the time. But if you have content you can reuse, you can use it at a different time to the first time you used it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why if you do content that you can reuse and have some what I call some quite generic content in there, you can plonk it in and have it repeat at different times, different days even in the week, and then you can always see which one works best.
Yeah, no, fair dose. Love that. So tell everybody what you actually do then, Bev. What
I actually do. Okay,
yeah, I'm going to break it all down for me.
I'll give you my elevator pitch because that's one of the things people really struggle with. So what I do is I work predominantly with women entrepreneurs to show them how to be more visible online in order to be seen and heard, using the strength of their voice to speak effectively with confidence and clarity. And that's by clearing up what their business message really is, what problem are they solving, and how are they telling people that, and being able to use their own words and not get stuck in this the guru says bit, and be authentic and enjoy it. And that's what I do. And I build their confidence, I build their visibility, and I help them grow their business.
Perfect. There's no more comments coming in, so I'm wondering whether anyone can hear or see us.
Well, they will the next time you put this out on LinkedIn.
That's true. That is true. I'm literally just going to go on and see if it is coming out, because I saw one coming up earlier and that was frozen. No, it seems to be working. Yep, it is working. So that's all right. So I'm glad about that. So if anyone's got any questions for the lovely Bev, then please come up, because when you ask people, right, will they do public speaking, they all say no, and it's listed as the greatest fear. More people are frightened of public speaking than they are of dying.
Absolutely. And the reason is, and this is the answer I give to most people who say that. See, I don't talk about public speaking. I talk about effective speaking. And it's about how effective are you in telling people what you do. And when people go, I couldn't do public speaking. And actually, my answer is get over yourselves, because it's not about you. It's actually about what you have that an audience needs. And if you can shift that mindset, then it's not scary anymore. Because, the idea of standing up and everybody looking at you, you think, oh my God, everybody's looking, they're judging. But actually, no. And I had a doctor once, and I said to her, but what happens if you've got, the one pill that will save all the lives of those people in the audience, and you're too scared to tell them and they're going to drop dead? It's what you've got they need. And I think when I work with clients and they begin to understand that, they actually get to enjoy telling people what they do. And it's not about your job title or your job description. It's actually what problem I can solve for you. The problem you have, I have the solution. That's all it is.
It's a great way of reframing that.
Yeah.
because yeah, you are doing a disservice.
Absolutely. And the other thing I think about it is we all speak in public, all of us. You know, even if we're in Tesco's and, you know, we're chatting to the counter staff, it's basically public speaking. And we forget that. And we're all online and we all need to do video and we all need to do lives and we all need. So getting over that initial fear isn't as hard as people think.
Okay, so if anyone's got any questions about that, so they're engrossed in the conversation. That's why there's no question. but if you've got a fear of public speaking, let us know. Because I did my first public speaking only last November, and it just gives you a buzz, doesn't it?
It's the biggest buzz you get if you know that what you have said to that audience, you know, may change some people's business or their lives or whatever it is you're giving them, and being able to, I mean, that, you know, we tend to think of those big public speakers, you know, the odd few that are earning the millions of pounds, but if you look at them, it's engaging. They engage their audience, and that's really what it's all about. So people who do group coaching or things like that, it's just a slight extension, because you're having a conversation with a large group of people. And so you're not talking at them, you're talking to them. And the other reason is you have to know your stuff. If you know your stuff, you know, you're not going to freeze up because you know it. And it's also those sort of things around the tips of, if your brain freezes, take a couple of steps. That's okay. Your brain will click back in.
Yes.
Or those little tips, you know, don't drink iced water before you speak. It tightens your vocal cords. So people are glugging back this iced water and they're wondering why their voice is squeaky.
Right.
Room temperature. Because otherwise your vocal cords go, and then the minute that happens and you hear it in your head's going, there you go, you knew you were rubbish, didn't you? And you're suddenly stuck in this thing and everybody's looking at you waiting. Just treat that as a pause and wander across the stage and go, I hope you're thinking about this. It's all these tricks.
Yeah, absolutely. Annette is presenting a masterclass tonight. Fantastic.
I know.
And I love this because she's feeling excited and positive about it. So
that's it. You have to go into it with that sort of attitude, you know. And so what if it goes wrong? Nobody cares. Nobody's going to punish you for it. You know, that's part and parcel. You're human.
Yeah.
We're all human. We all go wrong sometimes and go, oh my God, sorry, that was the wrong sentence. Let me start again.
I love it. I love it when I make a mistake because I'm good at getting out of it. Gemma's got a great question. How would you recommend to start with live videos when it terrifies you? Just go for it all guns blazing, or ease yourself in gently?
All guns blazing. I'm sure you're with me on that, actually.
Yeah, come on one of my shows, Gemma.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting it to start, it is worth coming on these things like this with Ashley, because he's leading it. So if you're a little bit nervous, you know, the person interviewing you will lead you through it, and you get more used to doing stuff online. The thing is online, and this is the other thing, is when we've been online for so long, as a speaker, you're not used to looking at yourself. You're on a stage looking at people. Suddenly you're at yourself, looking at yourself. And I'm going, where did my mother turn up in this? What's going on? And that happens to all of us. I think it's just getting over that. So I'm inclined to go, just do it. Just go for it and do it as often as you can and make mistakes along the way and learn from them and laugh about it, because that makes you, you know, human and people engage with you. And so one thing I would suggest, if you're really worried, try to get a really nice beginning and an ending, what I call the topper and the ender, because that eases you in, it eases the audience in, and then you can just start talking, because people's biggest thing is, what do I say first? What do I say first? It's like, just say hi, hello.
Why do you think?
Like you did, actually.
Absolutely. So the other thing is, the other reason I play the guitar is every Tuesday and Thursday I do a live gig on Facebook, on my Facebook channel, and so I will start off my show today with the full version of that song. But I've been doing that since the beginning of lockdown, so I've got an awful lot of experience of just standing in front of my phone doing that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
but if you Gemma, if you go back and watch the very first one, you'll think, hang on, who's that guy? That's not Ashley. But I had to start somewhere, didn't I?
Yeah, you have to. And I just say
go
for it and do whatever you need to do.
This is a good one. I have a problem with people hearing exactly what I'm trying to convey, yet I put it in simple terms. Oh, that's a good question.
Right. Well, you have to start with the very first thing you start with when you're talking about anything is, what do I want them to know? What's the end result, the aim of whatever this video speech, whatever it is? And you start from there and work backwards, and always only have 3 points to make, because 3 is the magic number. As humans, we like morning, afternoon, evening. We like to live, born, live, die. We like the whole breakfast, dinner, tea. The minute you go to 4, it's a list, and we all turn off. So make sure and don't try to tell them everything. You can't. So pick the one thing you want them to know. So for me, it's always, I want you to understand clarity. So I take out all the stuff you don't need to know at that point and just talk about clarity in 3 points, and they will follow you through. And if you have more to do, just do different videos on different topics that fits that whole, create a series and then sell it. So, yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. So what challenges do you have at the moment on your business then?
On mine?
Yeah.
I think actually it's the coming out of lockdown bit, because before lockdown, we were speaking, we were abroad, we're doing all this, that, and the other. And mostly through lockdown, I was pivoting, got very dizzy, and it hurt a lot. I pivoted a lot. So I think for me, at the moment is having relooked at everything and redefined and reflected. Oh, don't we love reflected? That's all right. My biggest, I think, problem at the moment is that it's not the lead generation, it's the actual sort of closing the deal, if you like. It's that closing the deal bit, because everybody is broke. And this is from top to bottom of the way the world is at the moment. So I give a lot away, but obviously, we all have bills to pay. And I think for me, it's just finding a way to close it in a safe way that works for me, and not in one of those pushy, cheesy, salesy ways, which I hate. And being really clear how, by my solving their problem, it's good for them and it's good value for money. So that's the bit I'm working on at the moment, and just building up. So I've got the lead generation all automated now. Just going to close the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, isn't it? So yeah. And so when you're not talking, I want to know a little bit about your TED Talk. So just talk us through how that went and how terrified you were when you stood up on that
stage. It was the most terrifying thing I ever did. I have a thing where I can find where people are doing TED Talks, and this particular one, the theme was the future, or what next. So, and I had just been watching a thing from Microsoft who have got these sort of 3D virtual people that look real. So I put together a whole talk about being a robot, and how did people know we weren't robots, and things like that. And the idea was for people to think, because TED Talks are all about people thinking. It's not about business, it's about an idea. So I put forward this idea that actually robots can't replace speakers, because of the way that everybody in a room builds up the atmosphere and things like that. You would know, like doing a live concert is completely different. But I remember getting the call and the call back, and and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. It was scary until I stood on the round red mat. And then the only thing that worried me is I'm a bit of a I like to move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm on the round mat, I can't move. And I don't use slides, it's all off the cuff for me. And but the thrill afterwards of coming off, because I think most speakers want to do a TED Talk or a TEDx. We only can do TEDx. You have to be invited to do a TED Talk in America, but every speaker wants to do one. And I think a lot of people have some amazing stories that they could do on a TEDx easily. It's just knowing how to apply for them and how to put forward the idea rather than, you know, and what's different about that idea, and what are people going to go away and think about, you know. So yeah, tech and modern world and stuff like that quite interests me. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Love that. Super duper. Okay, so I've got one last question for you, but before I do that, I need to bring up this the guy that's coming next week. Dozy said, thank you very much indeed. I love the idea of threes. I think that's brilliant.
Power of three every time.
You probably know this guy. Do you know
I
him?
don't.
Oh, wow.
I don't know Will. No.
He does lots of talking and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to having him on the show, because I was doing a show and he was interacting and commenting on the show. Never seen it before. And then he messaged me afterwards. He said, can I come on? Can I come on? So yeah, really,
That's what we speakers do.
Really, really lovely guy. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and grilling him like I've just grilled you, Bev. So thanks ever so much for being on. So my very last question then is, what advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
Not to get married so much. But in all honesty, I think what I would tell myself, my 16-year-old self now, is to be braver and to believe that whatever you want to do, you can do, and it doesn't have to be huge.
I like that. Yeah, no, what a lovely way to end the show. Bev, you've been an absolute star. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for the comments and the questions and goodness knows what else. And we will be back next week. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Message me if you want any other questions answered. I'm quite happy to answer questions.
So what you can do, Bev, if you put your contact details, if you go back into this on the profile, you can go in and you can put your contact details and get in touch with everybody. So yeah, no worries at all. Oh, here he goes. He's looking forward to the grilling next week.
Yeah, your turn, Will.
Yeah. Can't wait, Will. Can't wait. See you next week. Cheerio, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.